Magic with Colors 2022. This year's theme is freedom, and we are very excited to see your interpretations of freedom in form of artworks. Firstly, I would like to invite Mrs. Gauri Ishwaran, Padma Shri awardee and Vice Chair TGF JA India, to speak a few words and encourage all the students.
So, very warm welcome to our Magic with Colors, part of our flagship competition Harmony that TGELF has been hosting for a number of years. One of the reasons why TGELF places so much importance to our event Magic with Colors is because we realize the importance that art in any form, be it painting, music, dance, poetry, plays in the formation of a person's character. Painting is particularly important because it gives a visual presentation of the innermost thoughts of people, of how we perceive the world around us. And if you even look at the history of art, each age is defined by its art. Like when we had the paintings by Van Gogh, and you look at the paintings by Picasso, you will see the difference, which reflects the thoughts and feelings of that era. As in India, if you look at an Amrita Shergill, and if you look at the modern paintings that are emanating now, you will see how there has been a growth, and thematically how it shows the philosophy of that age. So therefore, I'm so delighted that Magic with Colors has come to life again through TGELF and through Harmony. I wish all the children the best of luck.
Thank you for sharing your insights about the importance of art as well. We are also joined by our guest, S. Vijay Kumar. Vijay is a senior training specialist in APAC Learning and Development team. He works as a senior training specialist and trains people on professional and communication skills. A man of many talents, he plays for a music band, and he also loves dancing and teaching it in his free time. He has done his master's in literature and also master's in education. We are happy to have you here with us as a keynote speaker, Vijay. Over to you.
Thank you so much, yeah. And once again, hello and welcome everybody. A very good afternoon to all of you. And thank you for the opportunity. And I'm fortunate to be a part of this event. For starting, I wanted to ask all of you, what do you mean by painting? Anyone?
Relieving stress.
Okay.
Breathing. Expressing your thoughts.
Expressing your thoughts. Wonderful.
Interpreting how you feel.
Painting
It's
is
a
a
way to show your it's a way to show your
art which
emotions.
gives you freedom to draw, stroke, or paint as you wish.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So yes, well, I believe it's the expression of ideas and emotions in a two-dimensional visual language. Today, I think everyone joining the call is super excited and to see the entries and your thought on freedom. So without further ado, let's begin with that event.
Thank you, Vijay, for such kind words. We now have a choir performance by the students of Vidya Gyan School, Bulandshahr. The song's theme is Sadbhav, harmony, and also the well-being of everyone. Vidyagyan School for such a lovely performance. I'm delighted to introduce our judges for today's competition. First, we have Amrita Verma. Amrita is the Associate Vice President of RMZ Foundation. She's the Director of an art advisory dealing internationally in contemporary art, an art critic, a consultant on various art-related projects, and also the editor of India's first online lifestyle and leisure magazine. She has mentored many Indian and international artists through her gallery in New Delhi. Thank you very much for being here with us today, Amrita. Our next judge, Madhurya, is a psychology graduate and a self-taught artist from Mysore. She is CEO, correspondent and executive management of Purna Chetana Public School. She is also part of the National Education Policy 2020 Art Education Team for Karnataka State. Being a self-taught artist, she explores various art forms and experiments with different styles as well. She strongly believes that creativity is essential in solving 21st century problems. Thank you for joining us today, Madhurya. We appreciate all of your participation in the competition, but we have certain guidelines to make sure that the event flows smoothly. As you can see, the first and foremost, each participant will have 1 minute to present their art. The presentation will then be followed by a 2-minute question and answers with the judge. Participants and judges are kindly requested to keep the time limit. And during the presentation, the participants are requested to keep your camera on. We would love to see your face during your presentation. Also ensure that you mute yourself while you are not presenting or speaking so that there is no disturbance.
The concept of this painting is freedom refers to the state of independence where you can do what you ever like without any restriction by anyone. Moreover, the freedom can be called a state of mind where you have the the freedom of doing what you can think of. And the message I like to give in happiness, there is a beautiful girl who likes to be happy always. She is a native lover. She likes to live under the open sky and enjoy life happily in the lap of nature. She likes to chirp like birds and enjoy herself.
Like, usually when we make paintings, it comes from our own emotions. So sometimes we try to put ourselves in the space. And a lot of artists do that as well. You chose to put a woman when you are a maid. Was that conscious or was that something just which happened organically when you were doing something on the paper?
Because the topic is given to me is freedom. Once the picture click in my one, so once I made a picture that children were playing and jumping. So then my father asked me, why do you make this picture? What is happening? So I said, these children don't have any homework, no worry, no tension. So these are playing. So same idea of keeping. So for the competition also, I want to draw a picture that the girl is free and enjoying her freedom.
Freedom is the open window through which pours the sunlight of the human spirit and human dignity, and those who are deprived of it are the worst sufferers, and so is the girl child. My painting revolves around the freedom of a girl child. In this age of modernization, the girl child is often ostracized by societal norms. This visual presentation conceptualizes the need to free her from all the bondages by bestowing love, support, and acceptance to her. She should be cherished and encouraged so that she can follow her passions and her dreams. She is strong and will soon soar high to achieve her goals. Let her have a voice, let her have a little bit of a joy and explore the world where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. With the following quote, I conclude, empowering a girl child is the key to building the future we want.
How did this work for you?
Like it was a natural thing that whenever I see the society is having a lot of foundations that are always kept upon the girl. So whenever I see the sky, the birds are flying freely. So I think that every girl child would enjoy this freedom of flying freely and overcome our dreams and aims. This is my painting that I drew to demonstrate different horizon of freedom. Here I used A3 size paper and soft pastel and on pastel to draw this piece. You know that freedom is the power or right to act, speak or think as one wants. But I tried to portray a present day problem which nowadays most people face and tried to create awareness about it. The act of bully is getting very common nowadays, where people is getting criticized, hurt in many ways in our society. As you can see here, a schoolgirl is getting bullied by a rude boy. The little girl is getting frightened and fragile, and the boy is taking advantage of her weakness. You can also see here two seniors are trying their best to stop him, but that doesn't look sufficient. When it felt like the bullying seems to be like a wire fence to the girl, a policeman is rescuing the girl by tearing the wire fence, by representing the fearless action.
Okay. Have you experienced this sometime in life so far?
No, I haven't. But in our school for value education session, they are teaching us about bullying. And few months ago, also I saw with my father in television about a Shark Tank channel about a girl named Anushka Jolly who was trying to create an anti-bullying platform. So from there, I also got a little bit ideas that I can make like this drawing that it could make our society better.
Through this painting of spirits of liberation, I wanted to portray the pitiable plight of women. Women, not only in India but across the globe, face a social barrier preventing them to live and follow their dreams. After World War I, women showed solidarity and protested together to bring change in hopes of breathing in air of liberty and equality. They have proved themselves since time immemorial that they are not less than men. They juggle family, home, children, and their career with utmost perfection. Every woman needs to rekindle the spirit of liberation inside herself to turn society in a new direction.
My only question to you was, the heart and the hand which you made. How did you come up across that? Was that something you thought about, or was that something when you were sketching it came? How did you manage making that?
Ma'am, when I was sketching, it just came into my mind naturally.
Let me begin with the Latin phrase, Alis volat propris, which literally means have wings, will fly. Good afternoon. The young girl in my piece represents a soul who has finally spoken her truths and beliefs after her opinions have been oppressed. This is the moment she realizes she can't get lost in a forest full of the opinions of others. To me, the most expressive part of this piece is the phoenix, or the bird. While I was making the wings of this magnificent creature, I felt the freedom of my imagination to soar across the boundaries of thinking out of the box itself. So now I end this on a positive note saying, I know this girl well enough to say that she has finally risen from her ashes thanks to the freedom of speech.
Why does freedom of speech actually matter to you so much?
Because I feel like the way I was brought up, I've always, thank God, my parents have always encouraged me to speak what I want. And if I have something that I need to say to right or wrong, I will always have the freedom to.
My painting is about the ill effects of poverty. Poverty is a curse which deprives an individual from basic necessities for survival. Thus, life becomes a struggle. Everyone makes existence from poor people. Through my painting, I want to drive our society's attention towards the effort poverty has on poor people. Thus, poverty is like a punishment for a crime they didn't commit, and thus they are all deprived of freedom.
Education is the basis of your personality. I, Kopila Limbu of Himjyoti School. Through my painting, I depicted the freedom that I got after joining Himjyoti school. Education at Himjyoti has transformed me into an independent, self-confident, and a better human being. My painting shows that education is the only way to empower us. And in this painting, it shows that education gives us wings of freedom to fly high and achieve our goals.
My painting predicts the need of freedom and free living for the for LGBT community. After making the painting, I thought what title I should give it. I have called it LGBT Enigma. This name I have chosen because I feel that the society has been puzzled about the existence of such people and it has restricted their freedom. That is the reason why I have taken up this topic for my drawing. Once while traveling by train, I saw a third gender person and a slide that piqued my interest, and I had a discussion with my mother. She made me understand about the LGBT people. I hope my small step will go a long way.
When you decided to do this, you put society in front and that ray-like feature which you've put at the back. Was that conscious? Did you get some help on it? How did this happen? How did you make that?
Ma'am, actually, if you notice, the bottom part of my drawing is the darkest, and as we move upwards, the colors are lightened, and that shows positivity, and that's what I wanted to show in my painting. And
before start to draw that piece of art, I was thinking, what is freedom? How I depict it on an art sheet. According to me, freedom refers to a liberal state of mind and a birth of strong decision making. I thought that bird in cage is best way to show the value of freedom. And a broken chain shows our effort can achieve everything. This is my vision to see freedom. Thank you.
This drawing is a positive depiction instead of showing only the problems created by us. Because showing problems and destruction is always easy, but it never serves any purpose. By this drawing, I wanted to show the solutions and how we can clean the mess which is done by us. The collective effort of all of us can help in cleaning the rivers and oceans, where the creatures can live happily and breathe in peace. I got this idea when I visited a beach and saw plastic and garbage everywhere. There, I helped the turtle to be free from all that waste. So, it is an appeal from my side to all that please stop using plastic and especially throwing it in water bodies because those innocent creatures don't know how to deal with it.
What medium did you use and how did you make this happen?
Actually, I used a mixed medium consisting of watercolors, acrylic, and charcoal pencils, and all these things mixed to make this thing happen. And of course, my idea was plastic and freedom from all that stuff which is lying around everywhere. And like I said, that when I visited the beach, there was a lot of plastic everywhere. So I got my idea from there.
I'm really excited to be a part of today's meeting and would like to thank the judges for shortlisting my artwork. The theme was to showcase freedom as free happiness. And in this artwork, I have shared picture of me in the middle and my mother and sister on either sides. And they are teaching me how to ride a bicycle. I would like to share how I came up with this concept. I don't yet know how to ride a bicycle. And for me, freedom is when I will be able to ride a bicycle independently and be able to participate in Rahikiri Day someday. I've always loved to see how everyone enjoys Rahikiri Day. It's so much fun and a very good method of connecting with new people. My experience of making of this drawing was that my mother and sister were happy to see themselves in the painting, and I always love to show the love and bond we always share.
When I was informed that the theme for our painting is freedom, I honestly did little thinking and got straight to expressing the freedom in my heart out to paper. Supreme freedom is always of spirit. I have nothing to express in terms of inspiration.
I would like to begin by quoting Linda Poindexter, and I quote, "One small crack does not mean that you're broken. It means that you were put to the test and it didn't fall apart. The inspiration for my artwork comes from this thought, and it is based on mental health. Our mental health, which should be a priority for us, but is probably something which we neglect the most. But what is mental health and why is it so important? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life. Through my artwork, I want to pass on the message that if we have encouragement, affection, love, and happiness around us, we could be mentally healthy all the time.
Through this visual, I would like to depict the challenges faced by students all around the world. It is a portrayal of ongoing conflict in a student's life, which binds the student into the chains of frustration, depression, disappointment, and unending worries. This realistic presentation shows the life of my generation. They seek to your support, affection, acceptance, to free them from their woes. So, let all lend a helping hand. Let each know that the mind and soul is free. I would like to end this with a quotation. Giving freedom to students is creating safe opportunities for them to explore, learn, make mistakes, reflect, rectify, and blossom into gifted individuals. Thank you.
The title of my painting is Let's Grow Together. We all are humans. The skin we wear outside can be any of color, but the blood flow inside is always red. I, Sneha from Himjyoti School, through my painting would like to project freedom from colorism. In Himjyoti School is an epitome of equality. In Himjyoti School, girls from different areas of Uttarakhand as well as Sikkim live together as a family. We might differ in color, but the bond we share is always pure. Irrespective of color, any other difference, we help each other to do better. My painting highlights that we all are different shades of the same color.
I would like to start by quoting Vincent van Gogh. There is nothing more truly artistic than to love people. Hence, one needs to develop a positive mindset, as it will always help us to focus on positivity. Our daily life is always surrounded by positive and negative thoughts. Through my painting, I took the initiative to depict a positive mindset, where I had made myself free from all thoughts like jealousy, anger, discrimination, greed, etc. I feel that I can make a start by spreading positivity within my family, society, and eventually Mother Earth to free it from all pain and grief to grow peaceful and beautiful in order to have a better life to live in.
This painting shows that freedom of opinion is important. It is necessary to have our own viewpoints about various topics and share our thoughts. In this painting, we can see that at one end, our brain is tied up with chains which bind us from retaining our perspective. And on the other end, the light of positivity and enlightenment is drawing our brain towards it, breaking the chains of religious fanaticism, caste discrimination, illiteracy, and superstitions. The blue color in the background represents low energy feelings like disappointment and disagreement. Whereas to escape from this, the yellow book on the top represents the wings of freedom. Yellow color here is chosen for its significance of happiness and hope. I really hope you like my painting.
I am Emma Arshia from PSDBSS School. I actually got inspired from reading books which describe the global struggle for equal rights. It is not only women, but even men face them, and the hexagon inside denotes justice. So this is why it was used. The concept of spreading awareness and protesting comes from Rosa Parks, non-violence from Mahatma Gandhi ji, planning and working together as a group from Chhatrapati Shivaji, and connecting with others and believing in oneself from Malala Yousafzai. The purple color background suggests peace and independence, and the tiny dots like stars know the new beginning. The message I would like to leave is work together and never give up, because we are stronger together. So improvise and plan. Don't ever listen to negative people and break free from those chains, but never use violence. Fighting is not always an answer, so believe in yourself and make people understand why equality is mandatory in life, and if nothing happens for test. And remember, hard work and struggle always give results, and the next generation are getting profited, so never give up, no matter what.
I mean, you had the options of showing one dimension and you decided to show all the aspects of it. How did that come about? Was that a conscious thing, or as you moved on the paper, you decided that, okay, I'll put this also and this also and this also?
Actually, so since I only had 2 days to finish my work because I was busy with my vacation, so I finished it in 2 nights, technically, after coming from school. So, and I was actually sketching it, and I saw that 2 strands of my hair was on the paper, and I actually noticed that it made a division. So I wanted to use that concept and make it like something that would make it stand out.
American journalist Gloria Steinem has said a gender equal society would be one where the word gender does not exist, where everyone can be themselves. Steinem probably was talking about an idealistic world devoid of systemic inequality. The reality is, however, different, especially for those who belong to the LGBTQ plus community. This marginalized group has experienced hostility and discrimination in social settings since ages. Imagine carrying the emotional weight of suppressing the most fundamental aspect of your being, your gender identity, just because the society does not accept it. My art piece celebrates fluid gender identities. Inspired by Malik Kafur, a prominent trans military general in Alauddin Khalji's army, it is a shout out for an inclusive society which respects diversity. Accepting, respecting, and valuing all genders for their authentic selves is a must if you want to make a social progression. This is the message of my artwork.
The topic I chose was plastic waste and ways to reduce the increase in plastic. When in class 6, I joined the Eco Club. We visited the garbage dumps around Delhi, which was when I realized how big of a menace plastic is, because most of the plastic items used daily are not biodegradable. Even our school is in no plastic zone, and we are trying our best to reduce plastic. The main idea behind my drawing is to inspire the people around me to reduce plastic, as only one plastic can take 100 years to degrade. So I would like to end my presentation by saying, to avoid the suffering inflicted upon you, keep Earth as good as our ancestors used to. Avoid single-use plastic as life is too short to be lived in.
I would like to tell you how I came with the concept of my painting. When I was thinking about my painting on freedom, I got to know that there are still some people who are in need of freedom, but do nothing about it. I have thus made a girl standing in someone's mind, depicting the desire of freedom, thinking about how happy her life would be if she had attained freedom. I conclude with this message that we should tell people that freedom is everyone's right, and we should try to help and motivate people towards their freedom.
You have chosen to show the Indian tricolor at the back. Was that something specific which triggered you in making that, or why was it?
Ma'am, many people say that India is a democracy country and they all have right to write about their freedom. But I still think that there are still some people who don't have freedom. So that's why I have made colors behind my drawing so that people can see that India is still want freedom and they can motivate people towards their freedom.
I have chosen this drawing from the internet, but I have modified it. This painting shows that the freedom struggle we had. It shows that freedom is never given, it is won. Means today, if we are enjoying in this freedom, it is just because of the struggle and sacrifice of a freedom fighter. This painting shows that we are still on the path of struggle. Now we want to free from the social evil which has corrupted the whole nation. We are still in the chain of corruption, poverty, social discrimination. Now we have to dream once again for the free India which will be free from the social evil. Then only we will call the citizen of free India. Struggle is never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and we need it in every generation. Where flying birds represent that we are still on the path of freedom. So this is the idea of my painting. Thank you.
So the concept and theme of my painting is freedom.
As Rabindranath Tagore said, where the mind is without fear and head is into that heaven of freedom, led my country away. We should come out of the clutches of this mindset where we put first ourselves and distinguish people on the basis of caste, gender, creed, and religion. Let the woman be like a free bird, singing, chirping, spreading laughter, and think about her own life. The only thing I want to portray from this picture is that women should receive the freedom that they want and should take their decisions by themselves. They should not be forced to do anything.
I feel proud as I say that I'm a part of an amiable, unamicable country. No doubt, war is evil. It is the greatest catastrophe that befalls the human beings. It brings death and destruction, disease and starvation, poverty and ruin in its way. A particularly disturbing side of modern war is that they tend to become global so that they may engulf the entire world. The United Nations has also made a special place for peace in SDG 2030. So let's join hands together against war and make this world a beautiful place to live in.
When we think about freedom, a lot of it tends to, for all of us, we think about ourselves and what is immediately around us. And, you're talking about war. Was there some impression, something which triggered you making this work? How did you come about it?
Well, ma'am, when I was collecting my thoughts for the painting, during that time, Russia and Ukraine were having war. That put a really negative impact on my mind. And due to the massive death and destruction. So I came up with the idea of spreading awareness through my painting.
I am here to tell you about my artwork, Changing Mindset, Women Are Rising. This artwork is a presentation of women empowerment and freedom for girls. In ancient times, girls were not allowed to study, not allowed to wear clothes of their choice, and many more. Girls were married at a very young age, and for them there was a rule that if their husbands die, they have to burn alive in the fire. From this artwork, I want to tell that let the girls live their lives however they want. If they want to wear a burqa or a ghungat, let them wear it. If they want to wear a frock or a sari, let them wear it too. If they want to study, let them study. In the corner, I have made a portrait of our president, Draupadi Murmuji, who is India's first tribal women president, as I believe she truly is a role model for young girls. At the end, I would like to say that if girls will get freedom, they will be successful.
Did you think about putting, the male gender within your painting, or was it a firm choice of not doing that? Why did you choose just women in your freedom thought?
Mama, I choose women because in ancient times, girls were only they were only for these rules that they won't study or they have to die along with their husbands if they dead and they have to die. They have to burn alive in the fire. That's why I have just shown the girl freedom and also changing mindsets and the empowerment of girls, that girls are getting empowered. So.
My painting reflects the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, that is quality education. In my painting, I have shown a girl with a sewing machine who is spreading education across, as well as providing new opportunities and skills to one and all, making her self-reliant and confident, which are all a part of being literate. I chose this goal as I believe that education liberates the intellect, unlocks the imagination, and is fundamental for self-respect. It is the key to prosperity and unlocks a world of opportunities, making it possible for each one of us to contribute to a healthy, progressive society.
Through this painting, I wanted to express my feeling of freedom in today's world. In this painting, the great pen have been established as the center point of interest, which is depicted as a weapon. This is a painting showing child labor and illiteracy, especially seen in our country. This pen can be used to kill the demon or evil of illiteracy throughout the world. Through the pen, I represent education over evilness of illiteracy,
as a result of receiving education. It will enlighten the minds of people and reduce, or rather stop, the child labor and illiteracy throughout the world.
Reason to choose that particular animal, was there any symbolism with it? Do you
Ma'am,
associate otherwise also with something?
Ma'am, as you know that we Indian people follow a religion called Hinduism. There is goddess Ma Durga, where the demon have been represented as the ox. So here also, like literacy can be represented as Durga over here, and the ox can be represented as the evil.
Education is an extremely important factor in our lives. We all need to be educated. This fact has been depicted in my poster. Education helps in getting jobs easily and removing poverty from the country. Those who are educated won't let their children work as laborers and be a part of the child labor world. The man who is uneducated and illiterate has no means of earning food and so eats food from the garbage bins. In earlier days, people used to kill female infants and they always wanted males as sons. The pencil here signifies education, which can stab the daunting hand of discrimination and doom, made up of fingers of child labor, unemployment, gender inequality, poverty. The pencil beats this hand. Education beats all our worries of the modern world, and it is the key to enlightenment. The birds show freedom, and the yellow light signifies enlightenment. Education gives freedom to go to places and reach heights of success.
So my question is, and I see that a lot of educated people behave like they're uneducated on the roads and the way they treat other people. Education is supposed to make you more sensitive, right?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? If you were to deal with it, if from your head, if you thought I could change something, how would you do that for these educated people who don't listen to things?
Like, I'll motivate them, and I'll tell them not to do all this stuff just because you're educated and they are uneducated. In fact, you should make them educated instead of saying those things to them.
If we look inwards within our soul, we all find freedom in the things most naturally available to each one of us, without discrimination. The warmth of the sun, the cool breeze, the soft sand, and the infinite sky. Trapped by physical chains is not being bound, and the lack of it is not freedom. What is it to be free is the question. Are we all to jump into the social media bandwagon? Our minds mere puppets in the hands of public opinion and latest trends? Or is freedom much more than just being able to flash messages on Facebook and Instagram with the click of a button? In my opinion, the individual who recognizes that freedom can be more soul searching yet simple, and in everyday joys of life and nature is free, even though he may be in man-made chains and walls. My painting prompts us to ask these important questions.
Through this painting, I'm celebrating women empowerment. My painting is about the freedom of women. The women's posture reflects celebration and liberation, and the silhouette is her past. I used the color red since it's a color of warmth, freedom, and victory. I showed a happy woman representing all those women out there who, after years of hard work, are finally free to achieve, finally treated equally. In the earlier patriarch society, women were portrayed as less privileged, but now women are working and aiming neck to neck with the other gender. The world is evolving. The all-powerful women can not only bear the pains of childbirth, but also perform tasks and yet retain their honor. The world is finally recognizing these abilities of women. Though there still is a long way to go, step by step, women empowerment is reaching its goal, and slowly we are overcoming this challenge. For me, this is freedom. Thank you.
I have chosen this from internet, but I modified it to show my own perspective through this painting. For instance, I changed the background color to white, which shows peace. Ashok Chakra in blue color represents freedom and continuous movement. The saffron color symbolizes sacrifice of many freedom fighters. Here you can see one hand is holding freedom, which is white in color, that also represents that after getting freedom, we wanted a peaceful environment. Though we are free from the rule of other country, but still we are bound by the internal limits like corruption, discrimination, etc. Even then we are trying to hold it with the green hand of prosperity. This flying pigeon represents hope. It shows that we are optimistic that one day we will get freedom in real sense of words. So as long as we do not achieve social liberty, whatever freedom is provided by law is of no avail to us.
My artwork represents freedom to love, depicting the LGBTQ plus community. They are denied freedom to love by majority of the society. The world is modernizing day by day and it's leaving the orthodox thinkings and ideas behind. People are getting freedom, freedom to vote, freedom to speak out, but they are not getting freedom to love. Society has its own definitions of right and wrong, and it imposes its opinions on something as beautifully abstract as love and as necessary as freedom. All of us, we are all put in boxes by our own families and our own societies. And our moment is history, even our own bodies. Some of us try to break free. So let us build a society of power, love, and acceptance. Let us accept, appreciate, and embrace the differences around us. Let us support the LGBTQ plus community and give them freedom to love.
How did you achieve? I mean, for me, what I see in your work, one thing very interesting was the way you made these uh, figures in the background. How did you paint them? Is there some layering? How did you do that with the
Ma'am,
colors?
first I painted the base colors of the pride colors. Then I lightly drew the figures with pencil, and then using watercolors and pencil colors, I highlighted and darkened the boundary at certain places. So it gave that kind of depth, like they were 3D, and so that I got that kind of effect.
This painting revolves around the idea of freedom from hunger, and it also revolves around the idea of the Sustainable Development Goal number 2, that is no hunger. I've shown a girl symbolizing our country progressing towards this goal, holding a bowl of food in her hand, along with the progress symbol and people joining hands together for this noble cause. I've also shown people reaching out in order for them to show their support during this cause. And I've also shown a path here that connects all these houses with their nutritious food, making sure that no one is left behind. That is what makes us a progressive country.
I'd like to talk about how I came up with the concept of my painting. So since freedom, it connects with all people and their feelings. Human beings, they have the right to think for themselves and express their own ideas. But then women, they still face barriers to freedom of opinion and expression in many situations. So since each person should be able to express their own ideas of freedom, I wanted to symbolize that the power of positive thinking that a woman should have by drawing an image of a woman in a golden color. And all the colors I have used in my painting have different symbolisms that relates to freedom of our life. And the message I would want to leave through my painting is that let's understand that freedom is being ourselves and expressing ourselves. And we can be free by getting rid of negativities that makes us feel trapped.
Bullying is a major issue, not just in India, but globally. Bullying may be a fun element for the bully, but can lead to mental anguish for the victim. One of my closest friends was a victim of bullying. I noticed how she started losing self-esteem, low self-confidence. She started withdrawing herself from all her friends and was always lost in her thought. Her personality and behavior just totally changed. While researching, I was exposed to the psychological effect of bullying. It acts like a traumatic event for the victim. If you are a victim of bullying, stand up for yourself. To build a peaceful society, we must not accept bullying. Let's fight against this injustice together.
Today, I'm here to brief you all about how I came up with the concept of my painting and what's the message I want. Alright, so first, let's ask ourselves, are we really free? Are we not tied to our own thoughts? Well, yeah. Seeing the current situation around my surroundings, that so many youth, so many children are suffering from mental illness. They're so emotionally unstable. They're not even able to cope up with their own emotions. That's why I want to say that freedom comes from within. You can't be asking random people to give you your own freedom. You need to break the chains of your own negative thoughts and rise above your own caliber to the colorfulness of life.
I want to know how you did the colored part. What were the layers? What colors did you use? Mediums?
I just started from like the bottom. From the first, I basically wanted to show the colors coming from her heart, like the veins. Then I just started with the light potion. Then I spread water. Then I use mixed media. Like I use acrylic to just give it a shiny opaque effect. So I just started with first yellow layering and then adding a bit of blue as it's a color of freedom. then just
Right.
going with the nature, the purple, and the upper part of the clouds I showed, like, and then the birds, the musical note as they express freedom, and deer as it's a symbol of regeneration.
Epictetus once said, "Is freedom anything else than the right to live as we wish? Nothing else." This saying inspired me to come up with my painting Explore, since I believe that it is hard for us to attain freedom unless one explores and learns what they're being deprived of. In the society we live in, it is not acceptable for men to wear makeup and is considered a taboo in the web of matching beauty standards. This is something that I have witnessed with my dear friends. A lot of my friends enjoyed dressing up, loved wearing makeup, but they had to restrict themselves as it would question their masculinity. I have, in fact, seen a mother many a times fix her son for being too feminine. I believe that Explore will pass on the message that if we truly want all genders to be treated equally, we must look at both the sides with an unbiased view.
How did you come up with this? I mean,
So basically, like the man who's putting the makeup on, he's not offending anyone. He's going
Right.
about his day. But people feel the need to judge him and to point it out that what you're doing is not okay. And that's why I've not colored in the hands, since they have no personality of their own than offending the person. And you can see from around the hands, there's like a lot of color red coming, which symbolizes the negativity. And I drew like all the lines around it to show them like nudging him and irritating him and probably making him take his makeup off.
My painting shows a word first break a case and then frame to free itself. The case depicts inner challenges while the frame outer challenges and a word as a human being. If one person enjoy in a real sense freedom, he will never enslave other, not try to snatch other freedom. I have used wildly motifs also to depict malpracticed being practiced in our society.
So that was the end of all the presentations.
Every year, I see people being more courageous about sharing what they have to, and they don't go by what this construct of the world is, but they have their own thoughts and they're putting that out there in the best way possible. I love the courage you all have, and I wish more people would have it as adults as well.
All were so amazing. It was just like so hard for all of us to judge. It was great judging here. I mean, I got to learn so much. It was fantastic. All the very best to everybody.
I would like to invite S. Vijay Kumar to give some closing remarks.
So first of all, congratulations to all the students present here. I was absolutely amazed to see the entries. The thought of, expressing your ideas on the canvas is really amazing. So painting is one of the fascinating subjects of fine arts. I'm sure everybody knows that. So it is a completely different world of art, which is made up of colors and sketches and, put in all your expressions and everything there. Right. So I have always heard that a painter with the power of their creativity and tools of painting, that is your brushes, canvases, or colors, can recreate a new world on the painting canvas. So I think that was enough of speech for today.
Thank you very much, Vijay, for all such wonderful words.
Vijay, thank you so much for being here with us, for sparing your time and talking to the students and, motivating them, announcing the results. And thank you to FactSet for, being there with us in our journey of educating our young people, as well as for giving them the awards for the competitions that they are a part of. And a big thank you to our judges, both to Madhurya and to Amrita, for being here. And finally, of course, a big thank you to our students and the teachers. Thank you. Bye-bye. And take care.
Thank you, ma'am.